Okay, so our first demo is going to be Applauze.
Thanks a lot. I'm David McKay. I do business development at Applauze. I'm the lone Applauze representative out here on the East Coast. Sure, yeah. All right. Yeah, so basically, our team's built some other music apps in the past. Our flagship app is this app, Band of the Day. It's a free app in the App Store. You guys should download it. Applauze kind of spun off of that, and it's a event discovery and ticket buying app. I'll demo it for you guys right now. Our goal with Applauze is kind of to improve the ticket buying experience from start to finish. So everything from discovering an event to planning that event with your friends to actually buying the ticket and getting into the event. So this is version 2.0 that just actually launched live in the App Store yesterday. So it's a free app. You guys can download it as well. I'm just going to take you through some of the main features and then open it up to questions. So basically, this is a feed of different events that are in my area. I can scroll through the app and find different events that are going on in chronological order. I can also find events that are closest to me, so I can press the location button at the bottom. Should show events at Knitting Factory, yep, because that's the venue that's closest to us right now. You can also sort by most popular. You can sort by specific calendar, so today, what's coming up this weekend, or a specific date range in the future. So if I know that I'm going I'm curious what's going on the weekend of the 18th and 19th, I can search the events, and it'll show me everything that's going on that weekend in the same feed that's in the list feed. In addition to music events, we also have theater events, we have sporting events, we have free events that are in the community, and you can also search for any event. We have a database of 30,000 events at any given time. I'll take you through the process of actually one specific event. So if I tap on an event, I can select seats, I can invite friends, I can get some more information about the event. I can click on the Applauze customer support button and get in-app support. I can also get directions to the event by bike or public transit or whatever. And when I'm ready to buy, you can actually click the buy button. Your credit card information is stored there at the bottom. And you can just press buy, and the ticket gets delivered to your phone. I'll show you an example of the in-app customer support chat, because that's something that we just launched recently and we're really proud of. So basically, you can go within the app, you can invite friends to the chat so they can be a part of it with you. You can scroll through your friends and select them. You can also go back to the events and watch the event for specific price notifications, and then actually, chat with customer support. So I can, type something to a real human being and ask about, a bar nearby, Music Hall of Williamsburg, or if there are any open acts, or what time the show is, or any questions regarding my actual ticket buying purchase. So yeah, I guess that's the app. That's the overview of it, and if you guys have any questions, let me know.
Cool.
How did your customer service work?
Sure. I can actually show you. Do you have a question about this Skrillex event?
If I'm speaking with someone or asking someone about a neighborhood in Williamsburg, and am I going to get someone who's from New York who knows about the neighborhood, who knows where the good bars are?
Great question. Our entire customer support team is based in Nashville, so likely not. But they are great at Google searching. And search for you. So yeah, I can ask man, I mean they're on the clock, so I hope they're replying. But what's the best bar near this venue? And then I would set down my phone, and someone will reply to me within a few minutes. But yeah, so customer service is a huge part of it, and we want to make people feel comfortable. They're obviously, this is an example of someone spending $50, but there are cases where someone's buying a much more expensive ticket, and we want to ease their concerns about giving us their credit card information. So yeah, communication with a real human being is something that's important to us.
Where do you source the actual concert information from?
Yeah, so we're pulling in from thousands of different ticketing networks or ticketing sources. Some of the largest ticketing networks of brokers. We're also pulling in from, we're doing more and more deals with the primary market. So we aren't working with Ticketmaster yet. That's obviously a goal in the future, but we're working with some of the smaller primary ticketing companies as well. So we're not doing we're not scraping the internet. We're not like finding different events based on like what's posted on websites. The only events that you'll find, we'll look into this. The only event that you'll find in Applauze is something where we actually have a direct deal to sell you the ticket. So the whole transaction always happens within the app. We're never directing you off to a mobile website to complete the purchase.
So do you take a percentage of the ticket price?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll mark up the price of the ticket, or we'll charge the seller the ticket, or both in some cases.
And it's the same whether it's primary or secondary?
In the primary, we do deals where it's an affiliate deal, but then we'll also bake on like an Applauze convenience fee of a few dollars. Yeah, in many cases. So like we're not going out there with the voice saying Applauze is the cheapest place to buy tickets. In many cases, we are cheaper than a place like StubHub, but what we're saying is this is the easiest place to buy tickets. This is the place where we're building in the features to communicate with friends and transfer tickets to friends and lots of other features in the future. So we're always comparative with, we're always within a few dollars of any other place, but sometimes it's higher, sometimes lower.
U.S. only, or other countries?
We're U.S. and Canada and UK in the summer, but U.S. and Canada right now.
So are you kind of acting as a third-party broker?
We're not a broker ourselves. We don't hold any inventory risk. We like to think of ourselves as a technology company that's bringing the brokers, the ticketing partners. We're working with artists directly in many scenarios. So we're bringing in the people who hold the ticket inventory, and then we're confident in our experience of building mobile apps that we can create the best ticket buying experience.
Can you talk a little more about working with artists directly and also unconventional venues or things that may not be listed in mainstream listings?
Sure, yeah, so obviously that's something that we really want to improve upon is having, like right now you can buy tickets to a Knicks game, you can buy tickets to Beyonce, but stuff at Knitting Factory or stuff at Mercury Lounge, that's stuff that we don't have a lot of inventory of because we're either not working with Ticketmaster, their ticketing partner, or TicketWeb, or a broker that we are partnered with won't invest their money and take a risk and buy tickets to an event that's not high demand. So we really want to do more and more deals with the primary market to be able to get inventory for the smaller places, or do deals directly with the venue so they can list their stuff within our app. To answer your question about working with artists directly, a lot of times, for example, tomorrow we're launching tours with a few artists where they're giving us exclusive inventory to their tours, and they're bundling it with VIP items or digital downloads or meet and greets and stuff like that. So we're getting ticket inventory from the artists. They're endorsing Applauze and they're driving tickets to us. So last week we did Taking Back Sunday and the Used. They sold exclusive items through us before they went on sale on the primary market. Tomorrow we're doing Davey Terre of Animal Collectives, Anna Isley, and more Taking Back Sunday dates. Yeah. Yes.
So you had an example up where it said like tickets dropping, just dropped $52.
Right.
You set an alert for yourself. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
This goes down. I'm interested.
Yeah. So I rushed through that kind of, but so if I'm all right. So this is I had to research it a little bit. But yeah, that's like one of the things that's really important to us is adding a personal touch to it. So a human being behind it. So I can go back to the chat. Yeah. So we have a staff of 4 full-time people that are based in Nashville that their sole job is replying to people in chat, picking up the phone, replying to emails, and dealing with customer support. To answer your question about the price watch, yeah, so that's what the star is in the corner. So I can, when I star an event, it gets added to my events down here on the bottom. And then so I'm watching Kanye West at Prudential Center, and it'll show me, and I get a push notification every time something happens. So like the price dropped from a certain amount, and I can get notifications. I can stop tracking the price. I can subscribe to event reminders. So once a week it will say, hey, you still haven't bought tickets, or this event's coming up tomorrow. You should think about buying tickets. In the future, we're integrating. Cool. He knows it's me probably, so he's in the future we're integrating more of like social stuff with friends. So we would say 10 of your friends bought tickets to this event, and we would notify people of that. We'd say we think you might be interested, and if they bought tickets through Applauze, we know where they sat, and we can recommend like, hey, you might want to sit in this section, based on obviously like the privacy settings that people have set within their app and what kind of information they want to share. Yeah. Yeah.
The in-app ticket purchases are pretty interesting. Are you doing that by tapping into ticketing APIs, or how does some of the tech?
Great question, and I should introduce you to some ticketing folks that are here that are some of our partners. Yeah, so a lot of the primary sources like tickets.com and One Tickets and Tickets or TuneStub and ElectroStub, they all have purchase APIs that allow you to work within. There's a great company called Ticket Evolution that works with all the major brokers, so you can pull in from a lot of the inventory that you would see on StubHub, people who are reselling their tickets. And so yeah, we only work with partners who have a purchase API that we can work with. We don't, but with the exception of working directly with artists, we don't manually integrate any inventory.
So since social is such a big aspect of this, what is your user base like, and which cities, I guess, have the most users?
Sure. So I mean, we launched in April. We have about like 950,000 installs just on iOS. We haven't launched on Android yet. And our biggest markets are the biggest markets in the US. So outside of San Francisco, New York, Chicago, and LA, Dallas is one of our major markets. A lot of stuff comes through Florida. Yeah, those are kind of our biggest markets. But we intentionally haven't built in a lot of social features that publicly display that, because we want to build up the network before we say, hey, you have 0 friends in Applauze. And so now as we can start tracking and saying, okay, now the average person has 5 or 6 friends in Applauze, we can build in these features that are much more relevant to them. Cool. Yeah, I'll take one more, and I know everybody else needs to present. Yeah.
So if you have an artist that's only a Ticketmaster purchase, it won't even show up on there, or will it show up but you just can't have the functionality to buy the ticket? Yeah,
so that's something internally that we've been debating. Currently, we don't display anything from Ticketmaster unless it's a seated or sold out event. So stuff from Madison Square Garden, season ticket holders have them already. If they aren't going, they'll resell them. We'll list that. If it's an unsold ticket that's on Ticketmaster, we don't pull that in, and mainly it's because we want to control the user experience start to finish. We're really confident in the product that we build, and as soon as we tell people about something and then direct them off somewhere else to buy it, we lose total control of that experience. We have chosen, our company's chosen internally to not display events that we don't actually have the rights to sell the tickets to.
Isn't there a possibility, like for Bauer Presents, with so many venues and so many shows, and you're buying directly, could you figure out third-party or strategic partnerships with promoters to sell tickets to all their shows, or is? Yeah,
if you want to make introductions, that'd be great. So we've had a lot of conversations. The biggest roadblock to us right now are the exclusive ticketing agreements that every venue has. We don't want to become a primary ticketing partner. We don't want to take down Ticketmaster. We don't want to do exclusive deals with venues. We want to be the best place for people to come, discover, buy tickets. But because Ticketmaster pays, up front, and they pay for the rights to sell tickets to all these venues, it's really hard for them to agree to give some of those rights away. So unless we can cut Ticketmaster in on it, or find some other way to incentivize them to allow it, they'll block it for the time being, and they won't allow the promoters to work with us. So currently, we're working through it all, and we launched with the brokers as kind of a means to an end. We want to have lots of different inventory from multiple different sources, but the brokers and some of the primary ticketing partners that aren't the majors, are just more flexible and more willing to work with us because they want to win more market share. So that's where we started, and we hope to continue to evolve and get more and more inventory. Cool. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, David. All right. Awesome start. Thanks again, David. And definitely, if you have more questions, you'll be able to chat with him more afterwards. Okay, so next up we have BandHub. Pablo first came to like one of our smaller events that we have at a coffee shop on Fridays, and this was probably 4 months ago, and it was pretty cool then. And now I'm really excited to see how it's evolved. And I'm just going to pass the mic off to him.
Hi everyone. All right, so we're a small team. But I'll talk about me first. So I play the bass. I'm not really a musician, but I do play the bass. And you know what I enjoy the most about playing the bass was, I guess, like when I had bands in high school or in college. I mean, in business school not that long ago, and that was really cool. You know, making music with other people. That was awesome. Like I really enjoyed it. And then. But now it sucks because like I do have a bass home, but you know, particularly bass is really boring to play by yourself. But even if you use a guitar, so yeah, so that sucks. But you know, like I started thinking about it, and I realized that you know at some point, I guess, in the future, we'll use the internet to make music with other people online. So I asked my friends, you know, they didn't know any place. So I started searching online, and actually there's a lot of places that you can use to, you know, to meet people, to do things online or just to record online, and you know, they're really cool. But I couldn't get any of my friends to use them. Like I would be willing to use them, but I don't know. There was something about them that, you know, my friends didn't like. So I was like, okay, I'll do something that my friends want to use. And by the way, just like small note, like all this stuff is asynchronous. Like that's super technical, but what it means is like you don't make music with them like with other people in real time, but rather you record here. And I guess that's like sort of like a limitation of the internet, but that's cool. Like I can live with that. So I started thinking, let's do something that is asynchronous and my friends will use. And I started thinking about like these things that my friends, you know, or like, I guess the parents of my friends would use in the past. So like I guess in the 70s and 80s, in the era of the consumer electronics revolution, you had the Porta Studio, which is like this amazing thing. Like I love that product. I can talk hours about it, but anyway, you had that. You had like GarageBand, and I think it's still really cool, but sort of like the PC era Mac, I guess. So the question is like, you know, what are we going to have there now? And you know, our perspective is quite unique. So if you think about, you know, what's sort of like the prevailing medium, so to speak, of each of these things is like, you know, you have the cassette tape, the hard drive, and our perspective is that, you know, YouTube is sort of like the prevailing medium for today's, you know, sort of like, you know, amateur musicians. Like just like people record stuff and put it in YouTube. It's so awesome. You can see their fingers and what they're playing, and so we want to do something like that. And okay, so we did it. Like, so I'll show it to you. I guess like I'll show you just like an average song. Like in YouTube, like there's like crap, and then there's like awesome things. You're just gonna do something average. I hear you feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you your own feet together. Maybe just gonna do this. I need some information. Just the basic facts. And by the way, so like. So I'm gonna stop it. But and then what's really cool about it is that like they all played on top of this, which is sort of like the actual song in YouTube. And I mean, of course, there's like other people doing like original music. I love these guys. Maybe I want to add a track here. I don't know if they're going to like this. I don't know if I want to sing here. You get the idea. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, this is it, pretty much. Oh, and you can, I mean, of course, you can, you know, like, I guess, like, share it with friends. I mean, that's obvious that I don't even, I'm not sure if it's worth mentioning, but you can do things like that, and, you know, it's really, you know, like, you would see this, so, like, people would like it and would click on it. Yeah. So that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we just started like 3 or 4 months ago. We launched, and we're a small team. So I don't know. We'd love to hear ideas or questions. Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to go up front and
okay.
take some questions. There you go.
Yeah.
Who are you targeting? Are you targeting the professional musicians, or are you targeting
Well,
the regular band?
yeah. So like in my mind, I'm totally targeting me more than anyone else. Which I'm like an amateur musician. I'm not like a professional musician. Like I'm seriously though. I'm targeting me. And I think I'm not that unique. So there must be a lot of people like me. So yeah. Initially like the amateur musician, but then we learned that, you know, some professional musicians find this useful. Like those guys, like Blast guys, playing that prog rock music. I mean, they're not amateurs, and they're using this just to sort of like to distribute their music in a cool way. Their fans seem to like it. Other musicians that do a lot of like fan engagement in Facebook and YouTube, they sort of like do tracks so that their fans can play along. I mean, I think it's especially musicians whose followers are amateur musicians, like, you know, I mean, I don't know, like things that musicians like, I guess.
So the idea is not to be mixing, and, you know, it's not for like studio kind of work. It's more to like a social network.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like the Porta Studio, right? I think like Bruce Springsteen released like his most popular record, recording it in the Porta Studio. So it's not very common. I mean, you could do it.
What record was that?
What is it? It's what's the most famous one? I mean,
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Oh, you mean the way Nebraska was recorded on 4-track? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is like it's something. I mean, so we're making it so that it's not. I mean, there's not that many advanced features. So if you want to do like crazy audio stuff, you're not gonna be able to do that. But you're gonna be able to do like 80% of the things that make music awesome. So. Yeah, I think like some professional musicians are using it, but it's really more for the amateur, I guess. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Do you need any? Do you need any additional audio interfaces, or do you have anything developed that is specifically for syncing the high quality audio into the video?
So you can just like record with your computer. Like you don't need any external audio interface. Of course, like if you want to record like super nicely, like it's a good idea to use an audio interface. But I'm not sure. I mean, I think you're asking a more specific technical question, and I may not be answering that.
I guess so. How in the scenario where I would want to use this in a studio like that, the band that you played, how would I get professional quality audio onto the
Oh yeah, so you plug like the most amazing audio interface in the universe to the computer. Yeah. Yeah. So,
I'm just thinking about the reality of it being asynchronous, right?
Yeah.
So if I were using something asynchronous and I was recording something to upload, I wouldn't want it to be a shitty pass, right? I want to have the ability to edit, to make sure that when I upload, the things that Pink Floyd play along with them, that I'm not, flubbing every word. So what kind of editing capability exists in your software, or is this something that we would have to do outboard? Basically, we would do our own editing, Final Cut, and then upload it to the program.
Right. So there's two parts of that answer. The first one is when you record, it doesn't go straight right to like, I guess it's like we have this notion of like song author. So like whenever someone records that is not the song author, like it would go to him or her to approve it, so to speak. No. But even before it goes to him or her, like you will see it as like this like your draft, right? So you can play, listen, change the EQ, the effects, everything you want, and when you're ready, click send, and it goes to the author. But go ahead.
No, again, I'm not concerned so much about EQ and effects. I'm more concerned about the actual performance, right? Because to edit, like I'm thinking people are going to make mistakes.
Right.
Right, but that's not something EQ can fix.
I know.
So like
well, there's like auto-tune and Melodyne. That's like the pro version of auto-tune. Yeah, so I guess like so you can do multiple like segments, right, and cut and so on. Initially we're doing it super simple, right? I think we're gonna be adding a lot of more like mixing together different tracks and like doing things like that in the future. We just want to keep it really simple first. But yeah, I mean we have the ability for you to sort of like use some other software and uploading, and that feature is called email me, and I'll do it for you. Because the thing is like we don't want to mess for the average user. We don't want to let them upload now because it may be out of sync, and so we will put that in, but like we need to be super cautious about not ruining like like the simplicity of it. Yeah.
You talked about the original author, so is there some kind of rights mechanism within the thing that only the original songwriter can upload it, or can anybody share it? And if it's going on YouTube, is there a split between the various people? Is there any mechanism for that?
Right. So this is a huge topic. So when you create a song in BandHub, you can set it to be public, unlisted, or private, so just like in YouTube, right? And you can put it out so that people can send you things or not, or you can invite like one friend and you do like a private thing, right? So that's really up to you how to control that. On the topic of copyright and all that stuff, like everything is hosted in YouTube, so we just like want to avoid that, right? So like if whatever you're playing, YouTube thinks they don't have the rights, you cannot watch it or listen to it, it will say like I'm sorry. So we just don't want to, we don't care. I mean, we do care, but like we don't want to mess with like copyright and stuff like that. So it's a tool, right? It's like a tool. So YouTube will figure out the copyright and stuff like that. Yeah. That's it. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Pablo. Great job. All right, we'll keep the ball rolling. Well, one thing that Pablo said, I recently read an article about Pandora and their CTO, like early on in the early Pandora days. You guys should just search for it if you're interested, but it was basically about like Pandora deciding what features to build and what to put off until the next iteration, and the process that he created in terms of making those decisions. And I think it's something we all have to deal with, and especially when you're small and lean and don't have that much money. And I don't know, look it up. It's a good article if you're in that situation where just like how do we focus on right now, or like in Pandora's case it was like just the next 90 days, and everything else you don't even think about. And yeah, I don't know. It was inspiring. So, moving along, we have Mike from Fantrotter.
Hey everybody, Mike Coletta, founder of Fantrotter. I come from the travel industry, so thank you for having an outsider here. I'm actually a musician half my life though, so most of my experience is in the travel industry, but knowing a little bit about the music industry as well. About a year and a half ago, I had just thought I saw an opportunity to help fans like myself who like to travel for events, concerts, festivals, sporting events. People travel for theater. I've recently found out people travel for autograph signings. You know, there's a lot of different things people travel for based on the fact that they're a fan of something. Could even be a fan of Lord of the Rings, you want to go to New Zealand. So I just saw this opportunity to help people like myself, but also bring travel revenue to the event industry. So we did launch a travel revenue share program, which I'll come back to. For now, I just want to do a quick search, show you how it works. So I'm going to search for Pearl Jam. It was kind of the impetus for actually creating the site. I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan. I will literally travel anywhere to see them. I saw them a few years ago, as I do all the time. And once again, I got home and I was like, I got to see them again. I don't care where. Looking up tickets, flights, hotels, car rentals for all these different cities. Realized this is kind of a problem. So I built this tool, kind of just on enthusiasm, but also talking to event promoters and asking them as much as I could, get their feedback. Would they use a tool like this if I had built it? So they said yes. I started building it. So what you see here is actually powered by SeatGeek primarily, MusicTech alumni. So we pull in all the data and secondary market tickets for the most part. If you don't know SeatGeek, they aggregate the secondary market, I guess kind of like Applauze might. And then what I've done here is mashed up the travel data. So whatever it detects that we're in New York automatically, and Pearl Jam's playing Europe, which is kind of an interesting case. We built this to really accommodate one city, check all the prices, although if I was going to Europe, I'd probably go to multiple shows, so that's something for the future. But for every show, I can look at tickets. So we have the marketplace here and the box office. Similar to what Applauze alluded to, we're having some challenges with aggregating box office inventory. So we do it manually for partners on a one-off basis, or just popular events. And for any event as well, what we've done is pulled in the estimated flight price and plugged in your dates, and then we search for the best deals. And what happens here is when I click on any of these travel sites, these sites are paying me on every click. So go out and find the best deals on Expedia, Priceline, Travelocity, etc. So it's really primarily a convenience at this point that we're capitalizing on. Same works for hotels and car rentals. We go out, pull in the best deals, and make them easily searchable. Tons of ideas have come to mind. I have a list of about 1,000. I mean, we need to make this more interactive for fans, help them really plan together, share trips, have a map, show where the venue is, what are the hotels nearby, what else is there to do. But we're a startup, and this is what we've built so far. So we have this revenue share program. So now that artists, festivals, even sports teams can use the Fantrotter technology to put on their website. We have a Facebook app as well. And it'll look more like this. So it's an embeddable widget that could be put on any website. And I hope to partner with Pearl Jam, of course, but not quite yet. And this is actually the page where you can sign up and everything. We do have some bands up and running. So here's Gangsta Grass, which I highly recommend checking out. First bluegrass hip-hop band. Pretty cool. And they did, you know, this is customizable, so they turned off the travel prices by default, so you really only see tickets. But then if you want to, if you're interested in traveling to that show, you can turn on the travel, and it'll show you the estimated cost here, and again, you can search everything. We recently went live with the Wakarusa Festival. So this is our first real major partner. 135,000 likes. I think something on the order of 10,000 plus people attend this, if not much more. Some pretty big bands. So now when you're a Wakarusa fan, you can click the travel app, and here we have sort of the future of Fantrotter, which is a responsive design. That other design actually was not really too mobile friendly, responsive. So this is fully responsive, can accommodate Facebook or any website. Again, we have the total trip costs, ticket options, everything is right up front. And festivals and any partner, anyone who we partner with, can completely customize the sidebar. So Wakarusa wrote this, about how they recommend getting to the festival, driving directions, they recommend camping. You have your flight search, you have your accommodation search, but right here they wanted to make sure people know about camping, or if you want to search for hotels in the area. Generally, we send you to TripAdvisor to look for hotel deals. I think TripAdvisor is probably the best travel site for that. Same with car rentals. And again, lots we want to do here. You could have a chat board, so anyone interested in traveling can communicate or see who else is staying in a particular hotel. Lots of different ideas. You can imagine how these sections can expand. If you want to put more, you have different types of tickets that can be put here. We want to pull in specific flights, so we can maybe recommend the best flight times, the best specific flight for the price, for getting in before the festival and getting out after. Even hotel transfers, restaurant reservations. There are a lot of ways where we can potentially continue to monetize this. So there's money in this. Wakarusa just went live. They did one Facebook post and one tweet, and they made $30. So that's kind of a good metric for this festival's in June. If they continue to promote heavily, it's not even on their website yet. As people come in and they're planning their travel, the money is there. So here's another example actually of the Folk Alliance, who I think we missed the deadline because this is coming up soon. But we were customizing this for them. They had some specific travel deals, and they wanted to make sure that those were here. People can search, but they can also click to go right to their discount page. So this is really built to accommodate any travel discounts a band or festival's already put together, which is very common, and even companies like CID Entertainment do that, right? They get hotel discounts, and they'll put together shuttle packages and everything. So this is really built to accommodate everything. We want to pull in bus and train information, give you that as an alternative. Do you want to fly? Maybe it's 400 or 500 miles. You want to take a train instead. You want to carpool. VIP experiences, there's all kinds of ways we can even get more involved. This is sort of built to be automated, but maybe we can even be helping partners put travel experiences together at some point. And I just wanted to run through a few slides quickly. Oops, that was supposed to be the last slide. Just on the opportunity that we see. Everyone in this room is probably familiar with the money coming in from recorded music versus live music. So, the market is definitely growing for live music. We want to capitalize on that. I see travel revenue as really a potentially significant new way for any band to make more money. Even a small band making $20 to pay their website fees. If they can get people interested in traveling, especially if they have a limited tour, they have huge fans. People need to travel to get to the shows. There's not a lot of information on this market out there at all. So I've extrapolated a few reports to peg it at $3.3 billion that we may be able to address in terms of online bookable travel products that relate to events. And there are a lot of ways to make money, like I said. So We feel like we have a strong business model that we can continue to move into. Parking coupons and shuttle reservations and specific travel deals and all kinds of things associated with this that really is my background in how to pull those things in and get them to all match up with event data. So we launched this revenue share program. We're working with artists and festivals primarily, but it's going to be extended to sports teams, even publishers, fan clubs, you know, anyone who has a fan base of people who may be interested in traveling, we think we can extend it into. So the vision's really to get thousands, if not tens of thousands of installations. I really admire bands in town for what they've done. I look at ourselves as bands out of town, how I describe us pretty often. And I think there's a lot of opportunities here around that opportunity to, I think this graphic kind of says it all, to have that revenue flow from the travel companies who sort of get all the benefit of people planning their travel independently and actually putting it in their pockets. We just want to mention that we are raising money right now. We're bootstrapped, but hope you like what we've built so far on a very tight budget. And happy to take questions and really open to feedback and just what you think of the whole concept, because I think it's something that hasn't really been done before. Still not quite sure if it'll work, but we're trying. Thanks.
Cool.
Questions?
Yeah.
You gotta excuse me, I've got like a cold thing going on.
It's winter, no problem.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm like new here, so this
Sure.
winter is taking some acclimating. I got it with 7 degrees, so like this is bad up.
It's brutal.
You know. So are you guys focused on like the festival business as kind of your primary growth engine, or is there some other focus?
We are talking to festivals first, like the Wakarusa Festival. We want to use that partnership as an example for how other festivals can implement the program. I think it makes a lot of sense for festivals because everyone has to travel.
Right.
I think there's a great opportunity for artists. You know, most people see bands when they come to their town, and I totally get that. So we're in a very specific niche, maybe a small niche, but it's also a niche where there's money there, and people spend a lot of money when they travel. So there's a lot of revenue opportunity there. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure. Thank you. Yep.
Could you break down the travel revenue for artists? Because I'm very interested in how artists talent can get money from travel.
Well, right now I would say the way we've seen the metrics come in so far, you know, it's limited. We haven't done any SEO. I'm shunning SEO. I don't want to build a business around Google. So it's all based on partnerships. So we're all just focused on getting partners on board right now, right? And Wakarusa is our first big one. So based on what we've seen, if we extrapolate the metrics, I would say 5,000 to 10,000 visits can drive $1,000 right now. So I mean, there has to be some significant clicks to make money. But as we add new revenue sources, that'll improve, I think. And then we do want to get into booking where we make commissions and we can actually start to put together packages. It's very complicated with travel. But
for example, I would see Last Nectar or the Flaming Lips driving a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
More than the smaller bands that are mentioned.
Of course.
Before. So how would that be different? Would Flaming Lips earn more money?
For sure, you know, jam bands and the bands that have an inherently an audience that likes to travel, sure, they're going to drive more revenue. Absolutely. I mean, we still see it as an opportunity for the band that doesn't have a traveling audience can still put it in front of their fans and say, hey, look, if you love us, you want to see us for more than one show, there are options. And you can see that it's affordable and you can do it all in one place.
Furthermore, it's only broken down for the festival. What routes that
it works for anyone, actually. We are focusing on festivals, but I mean, if the New York Giants came to me and said we want to install it, I would let them, and it would work. And yeah, the smallest bands generally are searchable in our database, and it works for them. So yeah, we're trying to automate it, make it customizable, and find the middle ground for scaling it up to work for lots and lots of partners. I mentioned briefly that it primarily comes through SeatGeek, who aggregates the secondary ticket market. So they search StubHub and the ticket brokers, and they give us all that data. They have a great API, very fast, a lot of well-structured data. And I mentioned too the box office inventory. We have not been able to partner with Ticketmaster yet. We've talked to other companies that aggregate that information, but we're not there yet. So we can go in and add box office links for a partner. So the Wakarusa Festival and Gangsta Grass, that's what we did. So all their box office prices and tickets are there when we launched the partnership.
And when I look at your platform, it reminds me a lot or similar to Kayak.
Yeah.
Are you doing any kind of, the prices that are coming up for travel, are they lowest prices, or would I have customization to choose what flight I want to be on, what my budget is, where I want to sit?
Yeah, it's going to get better as we evolve. Currently, we let you click to Expedia, click to Travelocity, and you can see what they offer, right, for flights, hotels, car rentals. A much better experience is going to be keeping it all within the website and within eventually mobile app, right, and making it purchasable. So those are challenges that we're going to try to address, and would be a much better user experience. For now, sending you to those other sites, because we get paid for every click, it's, we're trying to balance the user experience with making the most amount of money per kind of user being interested in the whole thing. That answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. I know you had said your revenue sources. So when you monetize this, you have deals with Expedia, and every time there's a click, it's a pay per click. It's not a it's not like a click through where they actually they make the purchase through Expedia. How does that work?
Like if we partnered directly with Expedia on a purchase basis, we could make 8 to up to 12% maybe on a hotel. Okay. And we may move towards that, especially to keep the purchase within the app and have them pay us in the transaction. But currently we make 30 cents a click,
so
on hotels.
Click. And then do you also have an arrangement with the venue or the festivals where they're paying you an upfront fee to have the app?
Well, so Wakarusa Festival, it's free for them, and actually we're paying them to use it.
Okay.
So we're paying 70% up front of all the money that we earn to just get partners on board. Okay. That may scale back. There may be an administrative fee of some kind eventually, but for now, we want to get the partnerships in place, and yeah, we're making it pretty easy, pretty attractive. I mean, the Facebook app takes 6 clicks to install. The website widget is 1 line of code, and it's up and running. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay. And we have one last demo. They come from Boston. Boston, that's right. Although I used to live here, and I like it here much better. You guys are very lucky. So, my name is David Blutenthal, and I am co-founder and CEO of Moodsnap. I have my product manager and co-founder, Matt Green, sitting here. Matt, say hello to everybody. He'll be around here afterwards, too, if you want to come ask him any questions. This is great. I'm getting voicemail, so I'm going to do the demo. Let's see. How's the second to brighten up? Yeah. Okay. So, Moodsnap is... There we go. Moodsnap is an image-driven radio app where choosing what to hear is as simple as knowing how you feel or just tapping an image that feels right. So the point here is to have mood and activity-based music to find music to match your moment, and doing so through the power of visual imagery. It's a very instinct-driven experience. There's no... that's an interesting one. There's no genres. We don't search by any other tags or keywords. We aggregate stuff on the back end that I'll tell you about more later. But the point is literally tapping something that feels right to hear something that feels right. So if I'm going out tonight, this is a very Williamsburg-looking photo. But here's one example of what a party could look like.
And we could show a party in 10 different photos and it would feel 10 different ways. So I'm going to tap this Moodsnap. And so here's one song that's in the station. Here's another. Here's another. So all of these songs were co-curated by our user community. Every song here is a decision point where someone literally looked at this photo and said, I think that this fits. It's what does this photo feel like and sound like? So we're really crowdsourcing people's perception around images, and then we're delivering it in a radio style experience that's filtered to your taste. So if this, Avicii song is on, there's a little action button on the bottom center. So I'm gonna tap that and we get this menu. So I can bookmark this song and save it to my favorites, which I can listen to later on demand anytime. I can show love, which is like giving a like to the person who contributed this song, saying, hey, this is awesome, this is a great fit. I can dislike it, which gives the app something new about my taste and my profile. Or I can say, hey, this doesn't fit this Moodsnap station. So the same very simple rules that's letting everybody aggregate and co-curate this stuff together is letting you regulate what should and shouldn't be on there. So basically, if we have a picture of someone meditating or practicing yoga and somebody thinks it's hilarious to add a Megadeth song to it, maybe they actually practice yoga to Megadeth, but if enough people hit this doesn't fit in a short period of time, it flags it and removes it. So these are not static playlists, but rather dynamically evolving stations in real time as vetted by the community. Another thing that's pretty cool here is, we really want this experience to be very intuitive. So if I want a song that's a little more energy, I can just pull down, I can swipe down, and all of these orange tracks have more energy than the green ones. I can swipe down again, and anything labeled, that didn't quite work. Anything in red is going to be more energy than the orange, and we have a green layer, a blue layer, and a purple layer. So basically, it's I need a little more, I need a little less, very intuitive, and these are all genre agnostic stations. It's celebrating all different stuff that fits within the mood. So real quick, if I wanted to contribute a song to the station, I just tap the plus button. Right now, if you want to contribute, you have to be a Spotify Premium member. Pretty soon, we're going to be hooked up with RDO and some of the other premium services out there. But let's just say, to me, this feels like MGM Kids. So there, I can listen to it and just be sure, hey, this is the right song, and then I can contribute to the station. Quality control, yes, it's the right one. Let's add it. Wi-Fi. So contribute it, and I get a point for contributing this song. So I'm now quickly going to show you my taste profile. So this is like my homepage, my dashboard. On the left, I've got 104 hearts in the last 7 days. That's because I've added songs in here that other people have liked. Just like if you post something on Instagram and people heart it, it lets you know that people like your stuff. I can also listen to any of the songs that I've added to the different stations under this plus tab. It's all my different contributions. I can see how many times they've been played and starred, and kind of peek out at my stats a little bit. And then this is all my favorites, all my bookmarks of stuff that I've discovered in the app and that I love. And this mirrors in Moodsnap, in Spotify. We have a playlist called Starred in Moodsnap, so anything you like in here instantly pushes to your other account and all your other devices. And lastly, I'm going to tap my picture up here, which I think I've moved up a few ranks in the last few hours. So this is our leaderboard, and when you contribute really great fitting tracks and you add value to the community, you are validated for doing so. And this is basically what gamifies experience and incentivizes people to contribute songs and stuff like that. Ultimately, this is a platform for more social layers and interactions. And for instance, let's say this guy who's number 4, I can tap his profile, see everything he's listened to, and I'm like, wow, he's got great taste. So I'm going to now follow him and the songs that each contributed is going to weigh more heavily into my listening profile. So it's all about personalization and simplicity. Where this is going ultimately is going to be letting users contribute their own photos. We are doing some stuff with artists coming up soon where based on, an artist comes out and maybe the album theme is all about marriage and divorce, the whole thing, right? So we can work with them to get photos that feel like what their album sounds like. And we can do, a feature that features their own tracks and other stuff that the artist wants to choose and let them seed the station. And then the users can get their hands in it and create this experience together. And it's a much more interactive, involved kind of way to sort of, an artist to tell their story and for fans to help the evolution of that story. I'll quickly just talk about our business model in case anyone's minds are going that direction. This is a great platform for brands and advertisers since we're communicating through photographs. Imagine, whoops. So something like this could have been provided by Nike or Reebok. And, you may not, it's not like an ad in your face, but it's something that is, creating those impressions. And Reebok could seed this station with stuff that they associate with their brand, and then we provide intelligence via an API and various kinds of metrics that lets the brand know, hey, this is what people think about you and what they associate with you, and it's a, it's a sort of a psych, layer behind everything. And there's various other things like that where if you're listening to a running station and you engage with it, you can get discounts and product offers on running shoes or gym memberships and things like that. So that's all stuff we're still exploring, but ultimately this is an image-driven radio experience, and I guess I'll open it up for questions. I'm looking forward to hearing your ideas and your thoughts. So thank you.
How does this all tie into publishing rights? Because per image, essentially, you're creating a compilation, correct? So does this piggyback on the rights of, because I would assume you have a partnership like Spotify, things like that, right? That's right. Music. So does that fall underneath their licensing? Does that become a blanket license, or how does that?
This operates under licenses, under the umbrella of licenses from Spotify and other on-demand streaming services. We also have a new license in the United States only, which this is a great platform to tell you, is coming out next week, powered through 7 Digital, which basically is a lean-back consumption experience, kind of like Pandora. So, tapping an image is an indicator for what you want to hear, but not the contribution element, and there's, there's 6 skip limits per station, and you can't hear things on demand. So there's 2 versions that are going to be live. For photos, we license them from photographers, some from stock sites. We're working on crowdsourcing that, so users will be able to contribute their own photos as well. But there aren't photos. We don't need any synchronization licenses because we're not creating moving images and moving pictures to the music. It's just sort of an indicator of mood. But all the music is licensed, and when you listen to music in the app, the rights holders, the publishers, and recording artists get paid.
Would it fall underneath the performance royalties?
Like public performance royalties? Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, sound exchange, we have a master's compulsory license for that side of it, and then the public performance just goes through ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, and we pay that every quarter.
Sure. What about copycats? Like Pandora likes what you guys are doing, or somebody else that starts out and they're like, oh, these guys, and then just do the same thing on their, like Pandora would be a good example on that. And they could just slop on some photos, do what you guys are doing, and say, oh, we have a new way of doing things on Pandora, and let it go this way, and then, like, what's your gatekeep? What's your moat around your business model?
Yep. Well, I always say, and I truly believe it, that ideas are a dime a dozen, and execution is all that matters. And we're a lean team, and we move quickly, and we have great ideas. And for a company like Pandora to strategically say, oh, these guys are making us nervous, we're now going to do this, that's a big ship to turn and a lot of decisions to make. And ultimately, it's up to us to continue to provide something that's really differentiated and unique and ultimately a better experience. That's part of it. The other side is I have a patent pending on photo-inspired playlists and the action of choosing an image as an indicator of playlists. So when we file the full patent at middle of this year, if it goes through, we might have something defensible, but still like that's a complex game to play, and somebody with a lot of money could still kind of push us up against the wall. But we're taking it a day at a time here.
I didn't mean to ask a dark thought.
No, it's a great question. I mean, but how many? There's so many photo sharing apps and photo editing apps. Why does Instagram succeed? And it's because it's dead simple, and it offers something of value that all the other ones don't. It makes you, any amateur, a great professional photographer, and you can share stuff with friends easy. And they figured it out amongst a lot of competition. So I have my eye out there always for what's coming up and what people are doing. But I know that we're creating something really distinctive and niche, and we're moving faster than other people could keep up with. So that's a good question. Anyone else?
What's the best feedback you're getting from users?
They want their photos in the app. They want to be able to get involved and not see the same single picture every time, but have either some variation there, or to be able to build upon playlists with their friends, where I'm at the beach, and I can have my network of friends that I send that to, and they can co-create something together that's more relevant and meaningful, and sort of have that duality of experiences where you can have sort of a radio and then more of a personalized curation kind of thing.
How do you do that? Is it like through Facebook or?
For users to submit photographs?
Yeah.
I mean, there's various tools out there. Instagram has an API that we could pull in. We could build something native. We're evaluating options on the best way to do it. So, yeah.
So I saw the points when you were the leader. So what do you were talking about the gamification model. What do you get for the points? Is there some type of reward, or is it just ranking #1?
Yeah, I mean, well, right today it's prestige and just sort of being #1 and just bragging rights, but that only goes so far. So, one thing is sort of being able to follow other members on the leaderboard, and for your content to get pushed more to the top. Another thing is using it almost as a form of finding who has the best taste for labels and other A&R to use as a curator of what's happening and who should be signed and stuff like that. We can do contests with Beats headphones. If you're on the top for more than 24 hours, you win stuff. We're working on ways to make that more compelling. Yeah, thanks.
So with the Spotify relationship, clearly with 7 Digital, that would be a license that you'd be paying on the radio percentage fee.
Yep.
But with Spotify, are they passing that cost through to you on the on-demand side, or are they paying for that?
In terms of the costs on publishing, yeah, they're not passing those on to us.
So you're not.
This is a value-added experience for Spotify Premium users, and they're absorbing.
So do you get a percentage of the premium subscription?
Not at the moment, but we're working on that. And RDO has a developer program where they offer a small affiliate fee if you're converting users who sign up for premium within your app, and you can demonstrate that we pushed it to them. I don't know. I've kind of modeled it out. I don't think it's something you can build a very sustainable business model on. It's a little something, but ultimately this is a big data play on music, mood, and image relationships that can be licensed out without giving personal identifying characteristics, but can be licensed out to various multimedia entities and brands. That it's a whole new form of intelligence out there that people aren't gathering.
So
did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Wait. So if you're not a Spotify Premium user, can you use the service?
Not today, but next week, anybody in this room who has an iOS device can download it and use it.
So if you're not a premium service, is it not interactive? And if you are premium, then it's interactive?
Yes.
All right.
So really, the premium users are co-creating a lean-back consumption experience for everybody else, because not everybody wants to participate in this in the game, and not everyone has discerning taste and wants to spend time to say, you know, what is this the picture of this couple in love in a park on a sunny day, and what does this feel like and sound like? And we want the people who really want to sink their teeth into that to fuel this experience for everyone else, and we want to find really great ways to reward them for contributing value to the community.
So Reebok purchases the advertising on the shoes. The song playing to that picture mentions Nike. How does Reebok feel about that?
You mean like lyrically, the song is something mentions Nike? Haven't crossed that one yet, but that's definitely interesting to think about. Maybe we need a lyrics matching app to be sure that like some hip hop song isn't promoting other brands in it. But I think to add to that question is, you know, what if you're an artist who's sponsored by Nike or Pepsi, and someone in the crowd is assigning your song to a station from a competitor, you know, brand? What challenges does that present? And that's stuff we're thinking about as we're carving out business strategy. It's a great question.
So kind of going off the Pandora question, have you thought about taking pictures of artists and having people match what they think sounds like that artist to the picture? So if I wanted to listen to music that sounded like Pearl Jam,
right?
Could you put a picture of Eddie Vedder and have a channel like that?
We haven't thought of doing that just because we're doing one thing at a time, and we're trying to find universally relatable themes that are very, not about the artist or the music itself, but about life, and about, it's a snowy evening out here, and you know, what does that sound like and feel like? Or let's say you're leaving work at the end of a night like this, and maybe it's a particularly long day, and you just want to be transported to feeling like you're sitting on a beach somewhere drinking a beer. And maybe that beer is a Corona. Anyone? So, right. So that's one thing. Or maybe I want to tap a photo of someone who just like looks really frustrated, and you know, I sort of want to identify with that kind of an experience. So it's kind of like, it's aspirational. It's how do I feel? How do I want to feel? And you know, we're not great. People aren't great at explaining how they feel or really knowing. I mean, I could say, how are you feeling? And be like, well, I don't know, I'm a little tired, it's a long day, but when you look at something, you know, and you feel all this stuff at once, and it's a different thing. And we see the world in images, our memories are in images in our mind's eye, and it's basically tapping into something that is very, it's not rational, it's an emotional response to an emotional experience, which is music. So we're sort of drawing those two dots closer together. Should I take, how's the time? One more?
Yeah, maybe one more question.
Okay.
Well, you mentioned the fluidity of the playlist, the way they evolve over time.
Yep.
Is there a way, if you're particularly satisfied with the way a playlist is making you feel, to capture how it is in a single moment? If you listen to it and you like everything you've heard?
The way right now we let people capture what they like is through that heart button.
Song by song.
Yeah, song by song. We don't have anything yet that lets people lock something in, you're saying, so it doesn't continue to evolve. That's something we could do with the premium version, where we can let you can star 20 songs that you love, and you can listen to those 20 on demand, like you bookmarked them. But in the radio app, the 7 digital powered one, our licenses restrict that, and you have to just keep going in one direction. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks. I'll be around if anyone else can talk. Thank you very much.
So that's it. Any quick announcements? Anyone wants to just shout it out real quick? Anyone?
Oh yeah. We're starting a new company looking for developers and designers in music education. So talk to me if you're interested.
Music education.
I guess I got one. Legends Media, we are kind of living at the intersection of live and digital music. I don't have my makeup on. So we're very interested in talking to guys who are interested in that intersection and are just creative, developing, and doing user interfaces.
Cool.
If anybody's a developer, come to me. I have ideas, but I don't know nothing about writing code or anything like that.
If you're a New York-based company and you want a demo at South by Southwest, New York Tech Meetup is accepting applications right now. So go to nytm.org.
Yeah, you guys, I forgot to mention during my presentation, but I made a discount code, so anybody wants $5 free in Applauze, just enter code MusicTech.
Cool, awesome. All right, thanks everyone for attending. Thanks to the Knitting Factory. Thanks to DJ Thomas, who is part of EL Media Group. And I want to especially also thank Tabitha. She's been helping us out, making the whole group better, and I really appreciate her help. And Keith behind. And all right, guys, enjoy.
Thanks, Scott.